Man, so this whole like getting to watch guitar stuff is crazy because it's just funny how life works out. 2 years ago, this is what I wanted to do, and when I made videos on guitar, no one cared because like I didn't really have a channel or anything and whatever. And now, like, luckily we get to share this stuff together, so it's dope. Because most of my stuff has been Southeastern Asian music, Indian music that I don't know anything about, which has been great to just be exposed to new music. But Paganini, I know something about Paganini, a world-class violinist, roughly from the mid-1800s and 19th century violinist who, he's one of these dudes that there's really no way to think about him currently. There's just no way to hold it in your head how dominant this dude was. This guy, like this whole thing where people like, he sold his soul to the devil to get good. That started with Paganini. This dude was a whole nother level of violinist who his technique was so amazing. He wrote a tremendous amount of pieces to demonstrate his amazing technique. And that happens often with artists in the 1800s, 1700s, and early 1900s, like Rachmaninoff on piano, Beethoven on piano, where they're just like, their ability to play was at such a high level that everything that already existed was nothing. They had to create their own thing. So Paganini had a set of caprices. Was it 24 really? Sorry, I'm not gonna double check. I'm just gonna go off the top of my head. The caprices are these sets of violin music that Paganini wrote and he would play and just destroy. And nowadays, because things change after 100 years, nowadays really awesome violinists in graduate school will play these all the time. However, we're not looking at a violinist, we're looking at a guitarist. So I'm excited to see how this goes. And to be honest with you, I have never played a Paganini Caprice all the way through. I've never performed one live. I have played Paganini solo work because he also did work for guitar. His Grand Sonata in A major, that I have performed, but only once. It's kind of daunting. I do recommend the Grand Sonata in A if you like guitar. I think it's pretty dope. Anyways, Caprice 24 is the bump and then it switches to a higher set of arpeggios. But when I'm saying that's actually an arpeggio. Anyways, I am a firm proponent of when it comes to hard music, if you can't mouth it, you can't play it. It's way easier to mouth it than it is to play it. So I would, any really hard music that you ever would like to play, I would always say sing it. Even, turn on your metronome and put it at half speed. But if you can't sing it in time, the chances are you're not going to be able to play it in time. Anyways, let's see Marcin Patrzalek. I don't know. That Russian, Eastern European, Polish, Hungarian. I don't know. Let's do it. Make sure my shit's not broken. Whoa, that's fast as shit. Is my video sped up? Nope, that's how fast he's playing. What? All right, no matter what he's doing, he's fucking amazing. Regardless of how he's executing it, it's amazing. But there's something weird with the video, so I'm sorry. I'm gonna back up a little bit and slow down because I kind of want to see here. Let's go to half speed. So so the thing that was catching me off guard is he's playing these 4-note arpeggios, da 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 ba ba da 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 da, right? But he's hitting the guitar and moving his hand away. So how is he striking the strings? It looks like maybe he's just hammering on, what we call hammering on from nowhere. So if I want to play this G, I can pluck it, but I can also hammer on from nowhere. Oops. Did you hear how low the note is? Hammering from nowhere? There's a D. So it sounds like he's like... But I can't imagine hammering from nowhere from that. You'd almost need to use your fingers to pluck the string. Oops. Oh, also, I've been having some whiskey. But anyhow, sounds really good. Oh, let's speed him back up. Variation. So it's a variation on a theme. Paganini wrote it this way. No matter what he's doing, his playing is fantastic. But I'm speaking of this, there's really nobody who plays super high level guitar and rocks up and down and moves around, because as you move your body, the physics of your hand changes. And as you tilt your torso and you lean forward or backwards or to the left, it makes certain things harder than they would be. So initially, I think, if I remember correctly, these were octaves on the violin. He's not doing octaves because he made a decision artistically to not do octaves. But they were like, well, I'm not going to play the fucking octaves because they're way too fucking hard. But they were octaves, I think. Nice. That looks legit. Yeah. I also like that he has more of a classical-ish vibrato than we're used to seeing. So on an electric guitar, typically the way you play vibrato, let's not mix things up, typically is what you do with the strings, you go up and down. So like, either, whatever, it can be, slow or fast, right? And the reason why you typically go up and down on an acoustic instrument, a fretted instrument like a guitar, is because we have frets, and the frets kind of change where you're hearing the sound resonate from. You're not actually hearing the string to my finger, you're hearing the string to the fret in front of my finger. So since I can't really deal with that, the way to address it is to go up and down. But as your strings get bigger, you can go more left and right, or if you have no frets at all, you can go left and right. So right now, you can still hear some vibrato going left and right. But it's very different than going up and down. Right? So he's kind of doing a little bit of a mixture. He's doing about 80% left and right. It's almost what Steve Vai would call a circular vibrato. Hey, That's fucking awesome. All right, so that's I think nowadays we might call that octave displacement. So there's like there's like two or three measures of high melodic values, and then two or three measures of bass values, depending on how you want to chop the measures up. So it'd be like, da 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 da. And so you're really trading off between the treble and the bass here. So funnily enough, this last part that you just heard is the easiest part of the piece because playing cross string arpeggios is one of the easiest parts of a guitar. So, right, or it's because we have so many fingers, it's much easier to go cross string. You have to remember this is written for a violin. So for a violinist to go cross string, they have to change the entire angle of the bow. And you basically have three planes. You have the two lowest strings, the two in the middle, or the two highest strings. And so you're arcing your bow over these distances. So on a guitar, it's still hard. But out of everything that you hear from the violin, this is the easiest guitar part. It's still not easy, it's just the easiest. Also, just funny things that we haven't seen in other videos. Oh, it looks like he actually has acrylic tops on his fingernails. That happens. Like when I cut my fingernails off, sometimes when they break, I'll go get acrylics put on top. Acrylics are thicker and they're more durable. I don't think they're easier to play with. They're just thicker. But he's bracing its top. But right here, there is a really natural thing going on that every classical player can recognize, which we call, at least in my school, we call pinky erections. When you have your hand this way, and then your pinky just sticks out like it's erect, that is usually because there's tension in the body and tension in your hand, and the way that that comes out, if you're not missing notes, the way it comes out is when your other fingers are curved, your pinky sticks out like it's erect. And you can see that all of his other digits are curved, but his pinky's just like Yeah, it's sick as fuck. It is sick as fuck. I don't think I have anything else to say. Like, we all take, and this is like a group thing. I'm speaking as like a family. That when you are doing the hardest shit on planet Earth, you don't want it to be the hardest, it just happens to be the hardest. And so if you can find a couple of ways to save your hands and your sanity, you're gonna take them. But yeah. I mean, I thought his arrangement was killer. I would, however, there's probably a live performance somewhere, right? We can just hear like a straight up live performance. But it's so daunting. Like, let me make it clear. I don't want to play this piece live because it would take months of my life. I would have to practice 8 hours a day, 10 hours a day on just this piece for months on end to play it. And I don't want to trade that much of my life for it. So props to him, because I bet he did put in a couple of years to make sure this piece was dope. So props to him. My hat is off to him. I wish him nothing but the best. I'm just a dude talking about guitar, and I just describe things that I see. Wishing you the best, Marcin. Anyways, wishing you the best, dude. You already seem like you're famous, so I hope you have a good time. As a dude over here with a cat over there, all I can do is just tell you bye, and I'll see you later.